While making plans to have this video be my very best, obstacles was making all the planned results for me. While recording this video, unbeknownst to me, what was happening was the internet, as you're watching the replay right now. And what was happening while I was recording this video is my internet was connecting and disconnecting, and unbeknownst to me, this was happening in the background, because as you're watching this video right now, I didn't know that this was happening as I was recording, and as you're seeing that everything was looking the way that it's looking as you see it right now. But as I was watching the replay, my voice was out of sync, the video. It was out of sync with the video, and I was watching it and I said, why is my voice out of sync with the video? I then looked at my internet connection and I see that it was connecting and disconnecting, and I even saw this was happening after I was watching the replay. The good news is, before I even recorded this video, I planned for the worst while being my very best. And the lesson in this video is a reminder that too often we pay attention, we give our attention to the wrong things in life and end up with undesirable results. And for this reason, pay close attention and listen to the message in this video, as you'll see how I dealt with the obstacles that showed up while I was recording this video. At this time, here's the video. Hey, this is Ord, and welcome to your very best channel. We're going to be covering how to use complacency to be your very best. And when I'm talking about complacency, I'm talking about the peaks and valleys of our lives, the ups and downs. But before we go into complacency, how to use complacency to be your very best, first, congratulations on the level of success that you've plateaued to in life. Second, be sure to celebrate your success up to this point that you achieved in the prior to results that you've achieved. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel at your very best. How to use complacency to be your very best. And in order to use complacency to be our very best, we need to understand what is complacency. Complacency is excuses. Complacency is when you've plateaued to a high level of success and then you've lowered into the valley, because our lives is made up of peaks and valleys. And when you lowered to the valley of excuses, the valley of the comfort zone, of complaining, of wondering, what should I do now? What should I do at this point? And then doubts set in of, all right, now that I've achieved this level of success, what should I do? And where do I go from this point? And that can bring about a negative attitude. And as I say that your attitude is a prophet of your future, once you start harboring negative attitude, harboring the comfort zone of complacency, this becomes an obstacle for you. It becomes an obstacle for you to achieve your other priorities that you want to achieve today in the order of their importance. And because things always repeat itself, today has a way of looking a lot like tomorrow. And so it's important to understand what complacency is, which is excuses, a negative attitude, having the wrong type of negative thinking, which a lot of people call stinking thinking, to thinking about things such as doubting what you should do when you lower to the valley of your life, the lower valleys of your life, of starting to complain of, well, I don't have enough money, time, or resources. I don't even have the patience, and I don't even have the energy to keep going like this, and I feel sidetracked right now. I knew this would happen. Maybe I should just quit. Maybe I should just give up. And so all these things becomes obstacles of complacency, of a comfort zone, of excuses, of being a wandering generality instead of being a meaningful specific. And this usually happens because complacency always lurks around after you achieve a high level of success. When you achieve a high level of success, you've plateaued. You've plateaued to a high level. And usually what happens is complacency is lurking nearby, because the thing is, to reach even a higher plateau of success, of achieving your other priority results that you want to achieve, it takes focus, and it takes you putting in the work, and it takes you turning complacency into positive energy. You turning complacency into stepping stones, into springboards, and into fuel of energy, of choice, into fuel of energy of positive actions chosen that you use to achieve your priority results for today. This is something that is repeated, because that's how we formed a habit of being successful. We formed a habit of being successful by dealing with our obstacles in the right way, by flipping our obstacles into stepping stones, into springboards, into energy fuel of chosen positive actions that we use to achieve our priority results every day. That's how we turn complacency into the fuel of energy of positive actions chosen we use to achieve our priority results every day. That's what the importance of understanding complacency is. And it's a comfort zone. It's a comfort zone level. And unless you step outside of the comfort zone, unless you choose to become comfortable being uncomfortable purposefully, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be in the area of complacency, of feeling that you're not worthy enough, that you feel that you're not good enough to be able to achieve the results the people that are more polished in your arena are able to achieve. And the thing is, you are worthy enough. The moment you decide to use complacency and form the habit of being your very best is the moment that you're able to flip any obstacle, whether it's complacency or whatever type of word that's used to define complacency, such as excuses, worrying, doubting yourself, waiting for permission to be your very best every day, being negative, and thinking about things that are outside of your control. When you have the freedom of your mind, because true freedom only comes from your mind, because you may want to achieve certain things in life, but the thing is, there are obstacles outside of your control. You may want to achieve certain things in life, but there are obstacles that's outside of your control. And you don't focus on the obstacle, which is what a lot of people do. They focus on the obstacles that's outside of their control. What you need to focus on is focus on what you can be in control of. You can be in control of making a decision. You can be in control of turning complacency into positive chosen actions that you use to achieve your priority results for today. And you may be asking, well, what if I use positive energy of positive action to achieve my priority results for today, and I do not achieve my priority results for today? Again, you're focused on things outside of your control. Outside of your controls, like unpredictable events such as life happening whereas you may lose your voice. You may lose your voice, and you may have so many obstacles happening today that they push you away from the priority result, your number one priority result that you wanted to achieve today. You see, these are the uncontrollable things in life, but that you should not let that stop you from achieving your priority aim. And to achieve your priority aim, you have to decide to be clear about making a decision and turning complacency into stepping stone, turning complacency into springboard, turning complacency into the energy of action, the energy of positive action that you transform and use to achieve your priority results. That's in your control, and that's using your freedom of mind to take the positive out of the negative, and to understand that when there's peaks in your life, there's also valleys in your life. The valleys of uncertainties, the valleys of not knowing exactly what all the steps are to achieve this priority result for today. And I like the quote by Dr. Martin Luther King, and he says, you just need to take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. And taking the first step is understanding that you have freedom of mind. You have freedom of mind, which is true freedom. The true freedom to control what you decide to make of this moment, what you decide to transform this moment into. And that's why it's important for you to understand that complacency is always lurking around, and it normally shows up when you have achieved a high plateau level of success, a higher plateau level of success of your priority result for today. What we're going to do is cover how important it is to look at the repetitive process that we use to achieve our success on a regular basis. And what happens is things become repetitive. You become repetitive, and you write a plan, you organize your priorities for today, and things become repetitive. And even all your level of success, it becomes repetitive. And what happens to a lot of people is they become bored. They become bored of the repetitive actions that they need to take in order to become successful. And the thing is, in all honesty, it's just repeating the process. It's certain principles. It's certain principles that you repeat over and over again and again that allows you to champion the priority of success that you want to champion every day in your life as you form the habit of being your very best. And what ends up happening is things become repetitive. It becomes repetitive, and the things that become repetitive becomes boring. And, a lot of people say, oh, this is boring. This is so boring right now. And what you need to understand is you need to understand the importance of using enthusiasm, because remember that your motion creates your emotions. And even though you have to repeat certain things, such as using positive actions to achieve your priority results for today, you need to understand that you need to be enthusiastic. Be enthusiastic and understand that your motion creates your emotions. And don't rely on wishful thinking, because wishful thinking is what you will find when you see and understand and remember the importance and remember what insanity is. And insanity is doing the same thing over and over again while expecting different results. Wishing things were easier instead of wishing that you were better. Wishing things were easier instead of you choosing the positive actions of becoming better. You choosing the positive action to seeing that you can become better. You can use 2-minute intervals of becoming better every day. The 2-minute intervals of understanding that I can become better. I can think clearer. I can take positive actions and turn my complacencies into stepping stones, into springboards, into energy fuel of positive chosen actions to achieve my priority results for today. And understand that this is in my control. And when you use and apply the things that's in your control to move forward, to fail forward purposefully, what you're doing is you're forming the habit of being your very best every day. And why is it important to use 2-minute intervals? Why is it important to use 2-minute intervals to form the habit of being your very best every day? It's important to use 2-minute intervals to form the habit of being your very best every day, because it's only when you are forming the habit of being your very best every day is when you're able to achieve the results you desire to achieve in order of your priorities every single day. That's what being your very best allows you to do. And if you begin with the end in mind, you can look at the ending results that you desire to achieve. And what you see, the cornerstone that you see, an important cornerstone that you'll see is you seeing that you were being your very best. You were being your very best, and that's what allowed the result, the priority result, to happen. And that is why it's important to use 2-minute intervals. 2-minute intervals every day to form a habit of being your very best. Because 2-minute intervals is doable. 2 minutes is doable to be your very best. You can even start doing your very best, start forming the habit of doing your very best in 2 minutes right now. Even if you have to pause this video right now, you can start using 2-minute intervals to be your very best, because it's only when you are being your very best is when you're able to achieve the desirable results that you want to achieve in life. Because it's about doing your very best, and it's about understanding that complacency is always going to be with you, and understanding that today is different than tomorrow, and it's understanding that it's all about rinse and repeating, repetition, repetitiveness. Doing your very best every day may not be exciting, and some days, in fact, it may be boring, because you know what you need to do. You know that you need to be your very best every day, but it might be raining outside. It might be snowing outside, and it might even be sunny outside, and you say, you know what? I'm going to put off the priorities that I want to achieve today and plan on doing them tomorrow, because it's sunny outside and I want to take advantage of the sun. It's been raining a lot the past couple of days, and I'm going to take the day off, take a break, and tomorrow I'll come back and achieve my priority results. And the thing is, complacency, it happens when it's raining, when it's snowing, when it's sunny outside, and it lurks around. Most of the time it's comfortable, and it's important for you to just understand that you need to become uncomfortable. You need to become comfortable being uncomfortable. Choose progress over perfection. You don't have to do things perfectly. Choose progress over perfection as you fail forward purposefully, and be the change that you desire seeing in the world. Understand the importance that complacency is going to be with you. It's going to be with you right when you achieve your success, because if you look at life as peaks and valleys of your life, the peaks of your life is when you plateau to that level of success, when you have achieved your priorities for today. And it might just be one priority that you achieve today, or it might be more. It might be 2, 3, 4, or more priority results that you achieve today. These are the plateaus, levels that you achieve for today. What ends up happening is complacency shows up. Complacency will show up randomly. It's not something, I can tell you it's going to show up at a certain time. It just shows up. It's going to show up because you're going to say, whew, man, that took some time to achieve that result, and it's just like, well, let me spend a couple hours watching, some of the social media, what's happening in the news, and what other movies are going to be coming out. You become complacent. You become complacent for that time period, and you become comfortable, and you don't really think about the other priorities that you could have achieved today. So it's important to just understand that there's peaks and valleys in your life. Peaks and valleys. And it's up to you to understand that when you repeat being successful, it's certain simple disciplines that you repeat that becomes boring at times. It's not going to be exciting. And it's for you to form the habit of being at your very best and being enthusiastic enough to achieve your priority results, even if it's boring. Even if it's boring, you have to love the boring times and continue to achieve your priority results every single day. Continue forming the habit of being your very best every day and understanding that every day is very different, because there are things that in your control, such as freedom of your mind, but there's things outside of your control, such as the unpredictable events that always happens in your life. But understand that as long as you have freedom of your mind, as long as you have the freedom of your mind, you can achieve your priority results. You can still choose to use the energy of positive actions to achieve your priority results every single day. And I might be repeating myself right now. That's how we learn. We learn through repetition. And it's important to remember that your complacency, times when you are complacent, is the times when you need to flip your complacency into positive actions, into stepping stones, into springboard, into energy fuels of positive action that's chosen to achieve your priority results for today. And understand that energy is neither created nor destroyed, it simply changes form. The question is, what is your energy going to change into? Is it going to change into undesirable results, or is it going to change into desirable results? And it's going to be up to you. Because what's going to be the deciding factor is what you choose to make of complacency every single day. Because complacency is just a form of energy. And what you're seeing when complacency happens is you're seeing a form of energy that you can choose to decide what you're going to transform that complacency into. You're going to transform it into the comfort zone, into excuses, into whining and complaining, into wishful thinking, into being a wandering generality instead of being a meaningful specific? Or are you going to control and you're going to turn and transform this complacency into being comfortable, being uncomfortable? Meaning stepping outside of your comfort zone purposefully. Meaning you using the complacency energy and transforming it into the energy fuel of positive action that is chosen to take ownership of this moment purposefully, so that you're able to use that energy into transforming your priority results in the order of their importance, transforming and championing your priority results into reality, bringing your future results for today into reality that you're able to see and live purposefully as you being the change that you desire to see in the world. This is how you're able to transform complacency. This is how you're able to use complacency into becoming your very best every day. And accept the truth that what you're going to be doing is repeating the process. Rinse and repeat tomorrow. In as little as 2-minute intervals, you form the habit of being your very best and turning complacency into stepping stones to energy fuel of positive chosen actions that you use for achieving your priority results for today in the order of their importance. Then you rinse and repeat tomorrow. It's repetitive, and a lot of it is boring. And the thing is, it's up to you to even love the boring, repetitive actions that you need to repeat over and over again and again, so that you're able to transform these repetitive actions into the priority results that you champion purposefully every day. Then you rinse and repeat tomorrow. Then you rinse and repeat the day after that, of using your complacencies into positive action, into energy fuel of positive actions, of stepping stones and springboard, of positive chosen actions that you transform into results. You rinse and repeat this simple discipline again the day after that, and you transform that energy into positive fuel of positive chosen action that you transform into positive stepping stones, into springboards, into energy fuel of positive chosen actions that transforms into the results from the actions that you use it towards achieving, the priority result of actions that you use it to achieve today. Rinse and repeat the same thing tomorrow. You see, and it becomes boring. And even though I'm repeating myself, you see that energy is neither created nor destroyed. It simply changes form. Because the energy that I started with today before I achieved my priority number 1 result for today is the energy that might have started off as being complacent. But I transformed the energy of complacency because I did not want that to be my inner stance. I transformed the energy of complacency into positive fuel of positive chosen actions that I use to achieve my priority results into the result that I wanted to see happen today. My priority number 1 result before moving on to priority number 2 result. And that's how you see that energy is neither created nor destroyed. It simply changes form, and it's for you to make the most of the energy that you have right now to use, because energy is neither created nor destroyed. It simply changes form, and it's for you to use the boring times that you need to use, because boring times is still a form of energy that you need to use to rinse and repeat and transform the results that you need to transform into a reality that you want to see happen, that you desire to see happen. You use 2-minute intervals to form the habit of being your very best every day. Then you rinse and repeat tomorrow purposefully. And this is how you transform complacency into the results that you choose to achieve, by using complacency and using it and flipping complacency into opportunity, flipping complacency of obstacles into your opportunity to be your very best today as you rinse and repeat this simple discipline into positive action of the priority results that you champion in the order of their importance today. And you rinse and repeat tomorrow, because that's what life is about. It's about the peaks and the valleys of your life. The peaks when you plateau to the level of successes in the order of their importance that you achieve through positive energy fuel of actions, of stepping stones, of springboards. And also the valleys of self-doubt, of worrying, of a negative attitude, of thinking about quitting, of thinking about giving up, but knowing that there are things outside of your control, like you're thinking 24/7, and understand that you can choose purposefully, because thought is something that you're able to be in control of. And sometimes you have to write down your plan clearly so that you're able to see it. But remember that professionals schedule their plans and amateurs let life get in the way. It is for you to understand that you have to schedule your priorities every day in the order of their importance. And when you choose to do that, you're able to see that you are able to be in control of your plan to see, and you desire to see happen every day in the order of their importance, because you have freedom of your mind to do that. And when you see that you have freedom of your mind to achieve your priority results every day, is when you're able to see that this is what's in your control, and you're able to not spend time on things outside of your control, such as the weather, such as thinking about wishing that you were born in another country, wishing that the weather was better outside, wishing and hoping that obstacles don't happen today. Obstacles don't happen today, but understand that there are things in your control, and the more that you understand the things in your control, the more that you can plan for the worst while being your very best every single day. You can take ownership of this moment and saying, I'm planning for the worst. Every day, I plan for the worst while being my very best every day. Today, I take ownership of this moment by stepping outside of my comfort zone purposefully. Today, I take ownership of this moment by understanding that I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. I am thankful that I am comfortable being uncomfortable purposefully, as I turn my complacency into opportunity, as I turn my complacencies of being in the valley into stepping stones of positive energy, of energy fuel of positive chosen actions that I use to achieve and champion my priority results today, because I'm using freedom of my mind that I'm in control of to make this happen. And this happened.